What's going on, folks? Ted from Immersion here, and in a weird full circle move, Lord of the Rings is coming back to 5th edition with a new role playing game, or adaptation, if you will, coming from Free League Publishing, the folks behind Tales from the Loop and the Alien role playing game, and several others. So, a comicbook.com article released back to follow up the news that actually was announced, I guess, while I was at Gen Con on the 8th of August. And then we also have the Free League Publishing actual announcement from their website. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the comicbook.com article says that they announced they're going to be, they're calling it the Lord of the Rings role playing. That's what it's called. A game that adapts D&D 5e for use in Middle Earth. The game will introduce 6 new classes, 6 original heroic cultures found in Eriador, rules for journeys, wondrous artifacts, and more subtle style of magic found in Middle Earth. I'm curious because, as you know, Lord of the Rings magic versus D&D magic are drastically different, so I'm curious to see how that would actually work and still be a functional game, but we'll see. A core rulebook and a Shire Adventures module will be released for pre-orders this fall, with a retail release planned in quarter one, 2023. Free League Publishing launched a new edition of The One Ring, the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, which is separate. That is an entirely unique role-playing system built around an original rule set, as it states here, for a Kickstarter that raised over $2 million earlier this year. They took over publishing of The One Ring from Cubicle 7, who had started publishing it back in 2011. While not said outright, The Lord of the Rings role-playing appears to be a new edition of Adventures in Middle-earth. You might have seen these books going around. There were books called Adventures in Middle-earth. They had the big 5e logo on the front, which was a 5e adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. Cubicle 7 also previously published Adventures in Middle-earth as a companion game to The One Ring, but it lost the license to publish the game along with The One Ring in 2019. Adventures in Middle-earth received wide acclaim for how it adapted traveling rules for 5e, with many DMs using those rules. I didn't know about that, so I'm going to have to look into that right after this video. One key difference is that the Lord of the Rings role-playing focuses on Eriador, an area briefly explored in Adventures in Middle-earth, but is used as the primary region setting for the new edition of the One Ring. It says more information will be released. It also says pre-ordering the Lord of the Rings role-playing core rulebook or Shire Adventures will give players immediate access to the PDF versions of both books. So I obviously went immediately looking for that. It does not appear that that is available. So here's Free League Publishing's website. This is their news announcement, right? Free League announces the Lord of the Rings role-playing game for 5e. This is the Master Ring, the one ring to rule them all. The Path to Middle Earth will open soon for new adventurers. We are thrilled to reveal that the acclaimed second edition of the One Ring role-playing is coming with soon in a 5e adaptation entitled The Lord of the Rings Role-Playing. The new edition, the One Ring RPG, set in the world of Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien and designed by Francisco Nepatello and Marco Maggi, became the most successful tabletop role-playing core game ever on Kickstarter when it ended in March 4th, 2021. Now the time has come to open Middle-earth for even more role players with a brand new 5e adaptation. The Lord of the Rings role-playing contains everything you need to create exciting 5e adventures set in the world's most popular fantasy setting, 6 original heroic cultures from the land of Eriador, 6 new classes, a host of terrifying adversaries, and a comprehensive rules for journeys, councils, wondrous artifacts, and the subtle magic of Middle-earth. The Lord of the Ring role-playing core compendium will enter pre-order this fall alongside a scenario module entitled Shire Adventures. A pre-order will give you immediate access to a full PDF of the products. The retail release of both is planned for Q1 2023. Here's the front cover of the Lord of the Rings role-playing game. And then here is the Shire Adventures sort of module. It says the One Ring role-playing game is based on The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, 2 extraordinary works of fiction by the beloved author and respected academic J.R.R. Tolkien. With these books, Tolkien introduced readers to his greatest creation, the world of Middle-earth, a mythic land from a remote past. With the Lord of the Rings role-playing, Middle-earth is yours to explore using the 5e rules. First released in 2011, The One Ring was hailed as the best attempt at bringing Middle-earth to the tabletop gaming scene. Now the time has come for the game to enter a new era and bring players further into the twilight of the Third Age with a new 5e conversion. The year is 2965 of the Third Age, and the Shadow is returning. Rumors of strange things happening outside the borders of civilized lands are spreading, and they sometimes reach the ears of individuals who recognize the sinister truth they hide. You are part of such a company of heroes seeking adventure, restless warriors, curious scholars, and wanderers, eager to see what was lost or explore what was forgotten. Together, you are entering the lone lands of Eriador, It is here that the One Ring lies, a seed of the past that will one day lead the world to open war against the returning shadow. The enemy is moving, and smoke issues forth once more from Mount Doom in the land of Mordor. And it just basically goes on to say that they're trademarks, blah, blah, blah. The enemy still lacks one thing: to give them strength and knowledge to beat down all resistance, break the defenses, and cover all the lands in a second darkness. He lacks the One Ring. And it says, a Friday Annie Award ceremony held in Indianapolis. We're very proud to say that the One Ring, not the base version of the game, won a gold Annie for Best Interior Art. Congratulations to all the excellent artists who worked on the game, and a huge thank you to all gamers who voted for us. So I will tell you that I went to Free League's website just to see, to the store. We do not have the Lord of the Rings role-playing here as an option yet to pre-order. Even if you click the One Ring, it's just going to give you the starter set, the core rules, bundles, and stuff, so you won't actually be able to get access to it. But you can obviously be sure to stay tuned to Nerd Immersion. As soon as that becomes available, I will pre-order it, and then post that pre-order, I will be doing reviews of both the adventure as well as the core rulebook. And you guys let me know when it comes out. Would you be interested in seeing me attempt to run or play in Shire Adventures? I think it could be a lot of fun. I have a lot of Lord of the Rings fans that I'm friends with who would probably jump at the opportunity to do that. So yeah, let me know. I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited to see. I always am looking for more options in 5th edition, as so many of us are. 6 new classes is interesting. When they say it that way, it does not sound like subclasses. It sounds like level 1 to 20 classes. My only problem that I bring up with a lot of this is 5th edition is great for what it is. But when you try and shoehorn other things into 5e, it doesn't necessarily work as well. That's why I think things like the Power Rangers, Transformers, My Little Pony, G.I. Joe, those RPGs were originally supposed to be 5th edition adaptations, and they ended up scrapping that idea and designing their own entirely brand new system. But we've seen other things, stuff that I don't even really recall much information on, like the Hellboy RPG was based on 5th edition rules. I don't really know how that's supposed to, like, Hellboy and 5e are very different, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm curious because the magic system is so different in Lord of the Rings compared to how it is in 5e. It's like an open magic system versus a closed or a hard or soft magic system, depending on how you want to look at the terminology, right? D&D is a very hard magic system. You know what the spell could do. It tells you. Lord of the Rings, at least from my perspective, and probably I think from yours as well, is a very soft magic system, right? The magic kind of does what you kind of needed to do in the moment, but it's sort of up in the air. You don't really know like what spells are being cast or what scope those spells have. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.